Breitbart had the headline, Farrakhan attacks Arabs, Chinese, Koreans, Indians, whites in Ferguson rant. During his latest sermon for the Nation of Islam, Minister Louis Farrakhan addressed the protest and controversy surrounding Ferguson, Missouri. The police officer Darren Wilson, who fatally shot Michael Brown. And he went on to make the point that Ferguson's 67% black. Why are there so few blacks in leadership positions? I would ask the black folks that. Are you saying there's election fraud? Or are you not voting? Because there is election fraud nationally. It's not total, but it's there. That's been proven. But then everybody should sit there and get exit polls and show how everybody voted at each precinct and show there's fraud. And there's ways to do this. And then you can take your town back. We just had Larry Elder on last hour, who's a black broadcaster, and he was pointing out that you've got areas where cities are majority black run, and you have just as many black people statistically getting shot or more under black leadership. I'm not here apologizing for the establishment of the police. I know this, though. The economic and cultural degeneration we're seeing is hitting everybody. And if we make it about black or white or cop versus citizen, all that does is play into the balkanization. We've got to realize why America is going in the wrong direction. Get back to the republic. Again, the toll-free number is 800-259-9231. Here is some of those clips of Louis Farrakhan talking about the Ferguson situation that's starting to wind down. But if they don't charge the cop, there's been renewed threats of violence. Here it is.
There's been over, I think, 300 arrests of black people in that city. And just under 40 whites have been arrested.
You know, I've got a question for Louis Farrakhan. And I mean, this is a real question because I'm not just here to fight with people. I can score political points with Louis Farrakhan, who's very unpopular with a lot of people, the majority of Americans, but popular with some, and just attack him. But he puts out a pretty good newspaper that exposes the Federal Reserve and the New World Order and vaccines. He talks about black people shopping locally. Not even so much if it's just blacks shopping with blacks, but that's good. But starting your own businesses and supporting them. That makes sense. I say shop with farmers markets and local communities. I go in black-owned barbecue places. Why, back when I lived more South Austin, I went in a black-owned barbershop because they had cheap, good, quick haircuts. It's got to be 20 years ago. But I tell you, race relations are so bad now, you try to go in a lot of black areas, they'll tell you, get your butt out of there. Or ask you, what are you doing in here? And you see, when things get so tribal, ladies and gentlemen, across the board with whites, blacks, whatever, whites are going to stay back from blacks, not because they dislike black people, but because they're scared. And Louis Farrakhan liked what I said when I got in Piers Morgan's face and said that was a good message, that we wouldn't turn our guns in. That's the weird thing about him. He says a lot of stuff that I agree with and a lot I don't agree with. And let me tell you what I don't agree with Louis Farrakhan. And Louis Farrakhan listens to the show. We've talked to their people, tried to get him on the show. They listen. Why would you blame Arab and Chinese shopkeepers who I agree are coming into your predominant, neighborhoods that you were forced into, 100 years ago, and they're taking the money, a lot of it out. They probably live 10 miles away because there's a market there. No one's starting a business there. No one's starting a shop there. Big corporations aren't because you try to. People say, what are you gentrifying things for? And people get mad at that. So it just becomes this thing where everything is seen as bad, so nothing can be accepted. Nothing can make things any better. And Louis Farrakhan does preach for blacks to start their own businesses and support them, and that's a good thing, but where are they? Where are they? Because if the blacks shopped only at black-owned shops, and those black-owned shops gave them the products they wanted, then you would have black communities again. By the way, before segregation ended, I'm not defending segregation. The media always says, if somebody brings this up, you're defending it. No, I'm not. I'm talking about facts here. They replaced one evil with another. Blacks did own their own shops, their own restaurants, their own hotels, their own bars, their own country clubs, their own everything. And they were getting extremely economically powerful, their own universities. And so the Democratic Party of the Ku Klux Klan, this is all on record, there's LBJ letters, came in and took it over and brought money in and community organizers and took you over and did a job on you. And now they're going to do a job on everybody else. With a gangster, sick, murder, cop killer culture, so that the whole country becomes a giant prison. That's the game plan. You want to be successful? Learn how to be polite, learn how to be honorable, learn how to dress nice, learn how to show up on work on time, and you will rise in this society, period. May take 5 years, may take 10 years. But not if you get a big, fat criminal record, which they want you to get. Yeah, the system's predatory. Yeah, the system wants to destabilize the black community.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.